What is going on, everybody? Dan's Midwest Angling here, and today we are talking about a hot subject in the U.S. these days, Temu. Now, in case you've been under a rock for the last year and a half, Temu is a Chinese corporation that offers you anything you can think of at prices that are kind of shocking. Now, of course, people have had a lot to say about Temu because it is from China. It is a massive corporation, and they've been accused of doing some shady things. But the main point that people seem to have with Temu is that they've been accused of doing some shady things with data. And to that point, I would say, if that really concerns you, then just don't use it. But I'd also like to point out that one of the biggest data breaches in history came from one of the bureaus that's responsible for maintaining our credit. So it seems that just kind of being a part of modern society, the threats of these bad things happening to you is just kind of something you gotta deal with. So being the stand-up guy that I am, I've decided to put my own personal information on the line and be the guinea pig for you. So here it is. I spent a bunch of money with Temu. Now it's important to note that they have not sponsored this video. They tend to sponsor a lot of videos. That since they didn't give me any of this stuff for free because I actually paid for it, if it actually is junk, then I can say whatever I want about it. So you might get a better, more honest opinion out of this video than some of the other videos that you might see out there. So let's go through and see what I got from Temu. And I got a pretty good sample of a bunch of different things in the fishing world that a guy can find on Temu. So let's go through and see what I got. Now this package is already open because my wife already got her goodies out of here while I was on the road for the week. So honestly, I don't even remember all what I ordered. So let's just go through it all. Okay, so this is the first thing. And this is something that you see a lot when you scroll through Temu looking for fishing gear. Now this is a telescopic travel fishing rod. Now the reason that I got the idea to get one of these is because you see a lot of people in Japan, they don't own cars. And so a lot of times when they go fishing, they pack a backpack and they take the train. So these are actually really popular over there. And it's a telescopic fishing rod. That's pretty nifty. This one seems pretty light action, which is what I bought it for. The main idea that I had with this is I do have a friend in Japan that he makes YouTube videos. His name is Shoichi, and this guy is an absolute hammer when it comes to trout fishing. He can find trout in these skinny little rivers, and he absolutely picks them apart with these short, accurate casts covering every single piece of structure. And somehow, he always pulls a trout out of a place where I wouldn't even think that it'd be possible to find one. So watching Mr. Shoichi's content kind of inspires me to check out some of the trout streams that we have right here in central Wisconsin. And so I wanted to get a rod that's really compact. Okay, that seems to be an issue. I can't get it to close. I don't want to break it. This is like $6. Maybe it's not a good idea to open it like a lightsaber. Oh, come on. I can't break it the first time I open it. Oh, it's got a little... Oh, look at that. It's got a little storage container in there. But that is all going to be well and good if I get the thing back shut. Yeah, that's not good, boys. Yeah, I might, it might be permanently extended. I mean, I understand it was $6, but, you know, we'll come back to this when we test it out. Because I'd like to actually try catching something with it before I completely break it. Next on the list, this big bag of tricks. What is this? Ah! Plastics. I got these because they seem to be like the perfect size and action for a good walleye plastic, like to replace a jig and minnow. Seem to have good action there. Look at that. Look at that little flappy. I think I got a couple bags of these. So I think they were all like the same brand, which I don't even remember which one it is. The thing with Temu is that you'll see a lot of the same products that are sold by different sellers. So I don't know if they're like, I think it's called like drop shipping or something, which I'm still not even entirely clear on what exactly that even is. That's why it's going to be really hard to like link this stuff in the video. So if you're looking for this exact, you know, the things that I got exactly, I don't know if I can really help with that. Let's see what else I got. It's an empty bag. Oh, these must be the other fishing plastics I got. Oh, these are the same thing, but a little green action. Those will show up probably not very well in the brown waters of the mighty Wisconsin River. And there, little whitey. Fishing line that is not even close to the color that I thought it was. I think this was like super cheap. It's allegedly like 12-pound equivalent, because I guess overseas they don't do like a pound test, they just do like a diameter, a line size. Maybe I made that up, I don't remember. But this is definitely a different, it's the brand that showed on the picture, but this is definitely a much more like pukey green color. This line is actually like, this is also supposed to be like 300 meters of line, and I don't know if that's that much line. And it feels alright. Feels like it's got a coating on it at least. We'll see how she goes. This is already open. What the hell? Why is this not in a package? What are you doing to me, Temu? This is a line application contraption. So how you do this is you take your fishing rod here, you know, and you pop that on. How the hell does this work? Screw this in or something. I see. You slap that around. Is there another part to this? There's gotta be another part to this. Alright. Getting carried away here. So you take your spool, and put it on like that. Then you screw this on here. And then we can wind the line on. I actually think that this is going to work. Surprisingly. And next, we get a reel. Sougayilang. Yeah, it's backwards. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Sougayilang. Sougayilang. 3000 series reel. There is a diagram. I think this is like 9 of 10 bucks. I mean, it doesn't feel chintzy. Doesn't sound like a garbage disposal. But you know, that's what you do when you're in Bass Pro, right? Like when you go and you look at all the reels, you're like, oh! It's actually got like drag adjustment. It doesn't feel like a complete pile of shit. I'm actually kind of impressed. And I mean, like, I don't really have spinning reels in general. Like, I've always been more of a bait caster guy. And so I really just can't, I don't like them. So I can't really justify spending $50, $60 on a spinning reel. So this was kind of my way to get a few more. And you know what? If they're good, they're good. They cost me like 10 bucks a piece. If not, then, well, the junk. And, you know, who cares? So I got this one. I thought I was going to put it on this here telescopic rod. Already busted. Alright, let's give this the old college try, huh? Oh, look at that. It's not going on very tight though. You gotta pinch it. You still gotta pinch it. There we go. That's cooking with gas. All right, so, I mean, the tension on this is not that great. So we're just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Still can't get over how, like, pukey green this line is. I mean, I'm going to superimpose, like, the spool on Temu right here, right now. Like, look at, that's like a nice forest green. This is just like, bleh. Yeah, not bad. I'll give the old spooling gizmo a C+. Like, it'd be one thing if I could get it tighter in there. But, I mean, it works. Like, it does what it's supposed to do. So, I mean, really, what more do you want out of it, right? Like, it's still way easier than making my wife hold a frickin' pen and standing on the other side of the room. What else we got here? Alright, these are those little rubber, like, sinker stops, bobber stops that you get, you know, at the big store, and you get, like, a quarter of these for, like, $6, where you got, like hundreds of these, $2. And I will say, this is not the first time I've bought anything from Temu. It seems like when you go for like products, you're kind of taking a chance on like the quality, if it's junk or not. But when it comes to like these little hardware component type things, like line stoppers, like barrel swivels, okay? Like, these are all coming from the same factory. It's kind of an unavoidable fact of life at this point. Just about everything that we buy and use is made in China. And, I mean, you can't, when it comes to, like, little hardware type stuff like this, like barrel swivels and line stoppers, like, you know, it's really hard to frig that up. But you can get these items at massive quantities for half the price of any of your big box stores. And you know what? Those companies are already outsourcing as much as they can overseas. So I guess the way I look at it from an ethical standpoint is like they already don't care. So why just cut out the middleman? Get it direct from China. Why not? Now the last thing in here. It got a little smushed, apparently. This is another reel. Sougayilang. Also a 3000 size. I mean, it's definitely, yeah. I don't know, it seems like, yeah, this one's a little more compact. I think this one was like a little bit cheaper. It's definitely not as smooth. So maybe, because I got one to go with the telescopic rod, okay? And then I got another one to go on a Fenwick that I just had laying around without a reel for it, because the reel that was on it broke a long time ago. This one definitely seems chintzier. Not like like unusably chintzy. Like, I think we can make this work. Oh! More barrel swivels. And that is it. So, now, we're gonna go out in the field and test this stuff. Alright, we're off. We got like 6 inches of snow all winter, and then, you know, the end of March this happens, so we won't be taking this thing out, unfortunately. Instead, there is a mill that the walleye should be, I mean, they've been going up there, getting ready to spawn.
I'm gonna make love to you, woman. Gonna lay you down by the fire.
So yeah, we only got a couple hours. I gotta get my DOT physical so I can maintain my status as a tractor-trailer truck driver. So I'm just gonna get out here. Really just want to test this equipment. You know, if we don't catch anything, then I'm not gonna be that sad. But I really just want to see how this stuff works. So chop chop. Well, here we are. Now I've fished this more times than I can count out of a boat, but I never fished this from the bank. As you can see, the water is like apocalyptically low right now. So I gotta figure out how the hell to get down here without dying. I went down that, and now that I'm over here, this looks like it'd be way easier. So this is what we got, boys. I'm gonna see if maybe there's something kicking around in this here pool. God, I have never seen this low. I've only lived in this area about 10 years, so that's really not saying that much. We need this white fluffy stuff. All right, we're baited up. Ready to give this reel a try. This is gonna be the control, you know, because, you know, the one that we're gonna cast, we wanna test out those plastics and how they work. So this is gonna be live minnow. We're just gonna cast it out here as a set line. But let's see how this reel does. This is the chintzier of the reels. I did manage to fix this. All I needed to do is just heat up the fitting, and then it expanded enough that I could push it back in. So yeah, just note to self with these telescopic rods, like, it's not a lightsaber. Don't I mean, it's not bad as far as the sensitivity goes. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. All right, so what do I think so far of this cheap Chinese Temu fishing gear? You know, I'm actually kind of impressed. And, you know, back at the house, we used that little line spooler deal. It turns out that it wasn't being tight enough because I just didn't know how to use it. And so this is how you actually are supposed to use it. You put the screw through the other direction. You can actually get it fairly tight. And so before at the house, I gave that like a C. I'm gonna give that like an A minus. Like I think it could have a little bit tighter of action. You know, it's a little sloppy, but all in all, I think it works great. It does what it's supposed to do. As for this $6 fishing rod, you know, I think for $6 it ain't bad. It's really not. And I mean, you can cast it a fair deal. It feels pretty sensitive. I haven't gotten any bites on this yet, but just, you know, I can feel all the rocks as I'm clicking it around here. And it's not overly heavy. It's comfortable to cast. Both of the reels, I don't know if they just need a little bit of oil and grease in there or what, but they feel a little tight. I mean, they're $10 reels, so like for a $10 reel, I feel like it's something I'm willing to overlook. I'll try and grease them up and see how they work. But I mean, all in all, it's not bad. You know, I honestly think that this might not be a bad deal. If you're looking to get some cheap gear, if you're looking to get a lot of gear real cheap, like say you're just getting started out fishing, I think this would be the way to go. Once I got this figured out, I haven't had any more problems with this rod. The line is, I've hooked the line in several rocks so far, and I've been able to, you know, get the lure out without having to retie, so I'm not breaking it off. So it seems like this fishing line, even though it is the ugliest color imaginable, I think it's actually a half decent line. So I was able to do two full spinning reels off that one spool, and there's still plenty left on that spool, so I could probably get 4 or 5 reels out of that. So I guess for the rest of the time here, I'm just gonna try fishing, and we'll bring you in here and there if anything happens. Oh yeah, I got one. How about that? Oh man. Check that out. Got us a Walter. I dare say that might even be a keeper, but you know, I got too much to do. I don't have a measuring board. I'd say that's probably 14 and a half, 15 inches. I guess the Temu reel works. I'll be damned. All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it for today. I gotta pack up and go to that appointment, unfortunately. But I mean, we were able to get one fish, so it wasn't a complete waste. And I have to say, you know, it's cheap. And you can tell that it's cheap, but this stuff works. And I mean, if you're used to having like $200 rod and reel combos, like this isn't the stuff for you. But if you're just getting started in fishing and you need to get a lot of gear real quickly, I would absolutely recommend this. I mean, you can't beat this for the money. And you know, it showed up. What I ordered showed up. That's the important thing. Everything that I tried today from Temu worked. The only thing that really, you know, I didn't get any proof on was the little plastic minnows, but I'm gonna keep testing those. Like everything that I see about them, I have no reason to believe that they're not going to work. So I'm gonna keep testing them through my later fishing adventures, you know, as I use them. If I catch fish on them, I will let you know in future episodes. But I mean, everything for me gets the stamp of approval. In particular, the fishing line. I'm really impressed with it. It took me probably 7 or 8 like hard stuck rocks of pulling that jig through before it actually broke. So I have no worries about this line. Yeah, it's a funny color, but you know, it's just a color. I mean, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, especially if you put like a mono or a fluorocarbon leader on it. It really ain't gonna matter. So do me a favor, if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see future fishing adventures, you can push this button right here, and that will subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to see one of my fishing adventures, you can watch that video right here. This has been Dan's Midwest Angling. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.